Okay, what's up, everyone? Swinging Bull here with PB Alerts. Welcome to my earnings stream. Do these every Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And today we got the big dogs, Meta and Microsoft reporting earnings. So it's just about 4 p.m. Eastern. Regular session is now closed. Let's see when these two are reporting. Meta is supposed to report their data at 4:05 p.m. Eastern. And Microsoft is supposed to report also at 4:05 p.m. Eastern. So we'll get both reactions at the same time. Got the 5-minute charts pulled up right now. Microsoft's starting to get a little volatile here. Don't think the data's out yet, so maybe just some pre-earnings price action here. We'll give it a few more minutes. Coming into the earnings, Microsoft had a trailing 12-month PE ratio, or PE, excuse me, of 39, and EPS of almost 13, 12.94. They do pay a small dividend, 0.65%, 7.43 billion free float. And of course, Microsoft is a very profitable company. Year over year numbers look great. Quarter over quarter, got a slight increase in positive net income. So nice and solid company. Debt to asset only 42% and dropping, so that's good. So great company. They closed the regular session at $513.24. A little bit green on the day, mainly due to the little pump it had going into close. It's trading at 514 right now in after hours. Just waiting for the earnings data to drop. And you got a few more minutes here. So their forecast, their estimate for the EPS is $3.35, and the forecast revenue is $73.7 billion. They were trading well above their anchored VWAP. Anchored VWAP's around $4.75 a share, maybe a little less than that. But again, they closed the regular session at almost $514. So they're trading right kind of where they closed at right now in after hours. Okay, just got a few more minutes and we should get the data and the official reaction. Let's go to Meta real quick while we got a few more minutes to burn. Got some buying coming in on Microsoft. All right, we're getting a reaction on Microsoft a little bit early. The data must be out. Must have got released a few minutes early or something. So far, lots of buying pressure on Microsoft. It's up $25 a share. Let's see if this continues, or is this going to pull back right away like sometimes we see? So far, it doesn't look like it. It's up $30 a share now. Microsoft is up real nice, up over 5% here. So this data's got to be out. Let me check over on my other screen and see what we got. EPS, revenue, all that good stuff. I'm going to go to their investor relations page first. And let's take a look here. Microsoft. Okay, they're still up $25 a share, so they're definitely investors are loving what they're seeing here. Okay, I got a nice little graphic here from the earnings correspondent. And let's talk about Microsoft for a second. Double beat, solid beat, as a matter of fact, for Microsoft. Again, the forecast EPS was 3.38. They just reported 3.65, so they beat that by 8%. Very nice. I mean, that's good for a $500 stock. Revenue forecast or estimate was 73.83 billion, and they just reported 76.4 billion. So almost a $3 billion beat on revenue. That's amazing. Investors are loving this. It's up over $30 a share right now. No signs of cooling off yet. We'll see. Doesn't look like the buying's over with. Let's keep our eye on it. Year over year, EPS was up 24%. And year over year revenue up 18%. So double-digit growth there on EPS and revenue as far as year over year numbers are concerned. Still got some good growth on quarter over quarter, more of a shorter term view. The EPS up 5% quarter over quarter, revenue up 9% quarter over quarter. Solid earnings. Investors are loving it. It's looking like a grats to the Microsoft bulls. I wonder if SPY's pumping too. Let's see here. Yeah, SPY and the triple Qs, they're catching a little bid right now as well after selling off after the Powell press conference. We caught some solid puts with that down move we had. Had quite a few members in the Discord making some money, thousands of dollars. It was amazing. Look at the reversal going on right now because of Microsoft and Meta. Just the SPY chart on the left, triple Qs on the right. Of course, they're going to look similar. QQQ kind of moves a little more dramatically. Of course, that's the ETF that follows the NASDAQ, and it's just real tech heavy. So you'll see the Qs sometimes moving a little more volatile than SPY. But all right, triple Qs are up here at 571.75. SPY's at 637.50 right now. Let's go back to Microsoft and Meta. Look at these monsters. Look at them go. Meta's up over 40. Okay, Meta's up $45 a share. Holy smokes, these things are rolling. So good stuff. Microsoft, that's some solid data they just released. Let me post the EPS and revenue on bottom of my screen. People can just quickly look at it if they want to know. Shai Balor on Twitter. What's up, brother? Microsoft delivered. Sales 76.4 billion versus 73.8 billion. Again, that was almost a $3 billion beat there on sales. EPS 3.65 versus estimate 3.38. Okay. The line item investors really wanted to know was the cloud sales. Estimate for that was 29.1 billion. And they reported 29.9 billion. So they beat that as well. So Microsoft off to the races here. Let me post this data. There we go. That's a nice little summary about Microsoft earnings data right there on the bottom of my screen. That's it's looking great for them. I'm gonna switch. So double beat on Microsoft. It's a congrats to the Microsoft bulls. And let me just see. I'll get some comments or commentary from the CEO and CFO as soon as I see them. I'll let everyone know. Let me see. Yeah, that cloud revenue, that was a nice beat there. That's really what investors were looking at. You know, the AI demand plus massive data center build out just continues to create growth, you know. 100.5 billion in capex expected for fiscal year 26 next year. 14% growth. So yeah, it doesn't look like Microsoft is slowing down. So that's great. I mean, they're getting up there with share price too. So is Meta. Look at Meta. I'm gonna talk about Meta real quick here. For 1 second here. So that's the important thing with Microsoft earnings is that cloud revenue. They beat that by $750 million. So that is amazing. Also, Azure and other cloud revenue was up 39%. The forecast for that was 34%. So they beat on that as well. Looking great for Microsoft, that's for sure. Let's look at Meta. I'll get their data real quick. Then I'll show everyone how to get to the earnings web calls with the CEO and the upper management and all that. I just seen this funny picture on Twitter, on X. It's what Mark Zuckerberg sitting in front of a huge steak dinner right now. All right, Meta EPS, they smashed it as well. Meta smashed earnings. Meta's up $60 a share now. Double beat on Meta. Here, I'll post this in the comments so y'all can see this. I'll flip over to that just for a second. All right, there's the Meta just dropped their earnings too about 5, same time Microsoft did basically. I think Microsoft came in a little bit early, but the forecast EPS for Meta was 5.87. They just reported 7.14. Amazing beat on EPS. I mean, let's do the math on that real quick. They just reported 7.14. Forecast was 5.87. So they beat the forecast by 1.27. Divide that by the forecast, 5.87. They beat EPS by over 21%. Wowzers. That's amazing for them. Revenue, let's see. Let's look at the revenue. Forecast revenue was $44.8 billion, and they reported $47.5 billion. So they beat by almost $3 billion on revenue. They also Meta also increased guidance. I'm gonna post some more data here from Shai. He's so nice enough to share this with everyone. That's my boy. Me and him were hanging out in Delray Beach last year. All right, here we go. So let's just talk about Meta real quick. Again, sales forecast was 44.8 billion. They just reported 47.5 billion. So nice beat there. EPS, we already talked about that. The forecast was 5.90 and they reported 7.14. They beat that by over 20%. Slam dunker on EPS. Q3 guidance. So remainder of Q3 of this year, the estimate was 46.3 billion and they just reported 49 billion. So increase of guidance for Q3 for Meta. So amazing. Rudel Trade on Discord asks, have I closed my SPY spread? I have not. I have not. I didn't, unfortunately, you know, I can't trade those in extended hours. So I didn't, I did open up a bearish position on SPY yesterday as more of a hedge trade because I'm currently long on a handful of stocks. So I spent a little bit of money yesterday and bought some SPY put debit spreads. They were looking pretty good when Powell was talking, and I did not hold them. There's about 3 weeks of time on it, so I'm just going to keep holding them. But yeah, this positive momentum on Meta and Microsoft, which in turn is pushing SPY and triple Q. That's definitely not good for my bearish SPY spreads. But however, just to reiterate the notes I put in the comments is a hedge trade. So if that thing goes to zero, I really don't care. That just means my long positions are doing very well. But again, I got 3 weeks of time on it. So the strikes I chose for that was the I have to go back and look. I don't have my Fidelity account pulled up, but it was the 635, 634 strikes. So SPY's 3 points above it right now. So we'll see what happens. But so to answer your question, Rudel Trade, no, I did not close them. I still have them open. Couldn't really do anything about it in after hours, so I still got them. All right, so we got the data for Microsoft. We got the data for Meta. And 2 positive reactions. It doesn't look like either one of these stocks are coming back down, at least not right now. You figure if they were going to reverse, they would have done it by now. This is just sheer buying. Meta's up almost $70 a share. Microsoft is up almost $36 a share. So Obviously Meta's getting the better bid here. Meta's up 10%, over 10%. Microsoft is up just under 7%. So definitely grats to the Microsoft and Meta bulls. This is great. Let me check for some more data for everyone, and then we'll figure out how to get to their earnings web calls, and I'll share those links with everybody. Again, just to recap a little bit, Microsoft, it was that cloud sales, the cloud revenue. They crushed it on that. Investors were really interested in seeing that. Couple highlights from Microsoft's earnings, and we're just going to talk about the product and service revenue growth. So Microsoft Cloud, that's up 27%. Azure and other cloud services are up 39%. The Microsoft 365 products for commercial is up 16%, and the consumer Microsoft 365 up 21%. LinkedIn, which for those that don't know, Microsoft owns LinkedIn. LinkedIn's up 9% revenue growth. Server products in cloud up 27%. And also for those that don't know, Microsoft owns Xbox for you gamers out there. So Xbox content and services up 13%. Windows OEM and devices up 3%. And then search and ads, ad revenue, stuff like that, that's up 21%. So Microsoft is just crushing it. Just wanted to go over those numbers with everyone because it's interesting to see, what departments within Microsoft, the different product and service departments that they have, how much their growth is respectively. And basically the cloud services is what really crushed it for them. And the other numbers are pretty impressive as well. All right, let me check Meta one more time, and then we'll figure out how to get to those earnings calls, because I know that's why a lot of people are here. And again, summary on Meta. Also, they crushed earnings. Fantastic data came out. Double beat. EPS up 22%. Or let's say they beat EPS by 22% as far as the forecasts or the expected numbers go. And of course, they beat revenue. And they increased the Q3 guidance. So just everything positive coming out from Microsoft and Meta right now. So that's great. Let me see if there's anything else here I can share with everyone. All right, let's see. Yep, so Meta and Microsoft both surging in after hours. And again, Meta's up a little over $66 a share. And Microsoft is up a little over $33 a share. And for Meta, Facebook revenue. Okay, yeah, no, there's people still calling it Facebook. All right, I think I might have some quotes from the good old Mark Zuckerberg here. All right, so Mark Zuckerberg says, we've had a strong quarter both in terms of our business and community. I'm excited to build personal super intelligence for everyone in the world. Pretty bold statement there. So that's really all the commentary I have from Mark Zuckerberg. So short and sweet and kind of powerful. CFO. Couple comments from the CFO. We expect third quarter 2025 total revenue to be in the range of 47.5 to 50.5 billion. Our guidance assumes foreign currency is an approximately 1% tailwind to year-over-year total revenue growth based on current exchange rates. While we are not providing an outlook for fourth quarter revenue, so they withheld that, it looks like, we would expect our year-over-year growth rate in the fourth quarter of 2025 to be slower than the third quarter as we lap a period of stronger growth in the fourth quarter of 2024. Interesting comments there from the CFO. We expect full year 2025 total expenses to be in the range of 114 to 118 billion, which basically narrows what their prior outlook was, which was 113 to 118. So they narrowed that by $1 billion, which reflects a growth rate of 20 to 24%, 20 to 24% year over year. While we are still very early in planning for next year, there are a few factors we expect will provide meaningful upward pressure on our 2026 total expense growth rate. The largest single driver of growth will be infrastructure costs, driven by a sharp acceleration in depreciation expense growth and higher operating costs as we continue to scale up our infrastructure fleet. Aside from infrastructure, we expect the second largest driver of growth to be employee compensation. All right, that's cool. As we add technical talent in priority areas and recognize a full year of compensation expenses for employees hired throughout 2025. We expect these factors will result in a 2026 year-over-year expense growth rate that is above the 2025 expense growth rate. So that's good information to know. Just some finishing comments here. We currently expect 2025 capital expenditures, including principal payments on our finance leases, to be in the range of 66 to 72 billion, which in turn that they narrowed that because the prior outlook was 64 to 72 billion, so they narrowed that by 2 billion, and up approximately 30 billion year over year at the midpoint. While the infrastructure planning process remains highly dynamic, we currently expect another year of similarly significant capital expenditure dollar growth in 2026 as we continue aggressively pursuing opportunities to bring additional capacity online to meet the needs of our artificial intelligence efforts and business operations. That was a mouthful. Look at Meta, still going. Meta's up over 73 a share right now. Holy smokes. They closed the regular session at $695.21 a share. They're trading in after hours right now at $767.50, around there. Of course, after hours is live, so it's changing as I'm talking, but they're crushing it, up over 10.5%. That's Meta. Microsoft still on the move. This thing's up over $37 a share. They closed the regular session at $513.24. They're sitting here in after hours at $551 and some change. Amazing. So we'll see how they finish the remainder of after hours price action. And then, of course, we get the pre-market data, see if they keep going. But wow, what a move right out the gate. What kind of economic data do we got tomorrow? Let me just double check real quick, because I think we got CPE or something. Let me see. I'll just go to Market Watch real quick. Let's see what's going on tomorrow. So of course we had the FOMC today. Okay, yeah, tomorrow's initial jobless claims. All right, so keep your eye on that. That could totally change the dynamic. The dynamics here. But yeah, that's right. Okay, so we got PCE tomorrow and initial jobless claims. Those are probably the big ones there out of the list. We got unemployment data tomorrow on Friday, excuse me. Yeah, tomorrow morning before the bell, initial jobless claims. Keep your eye on those results. That could definitely it's moved markets before, so we'll see what's up with that. Might be one of the variables we got to keep our eye on for tomorrow morning. I think those initial jobless claims. It's almost 4:30 now. Let me get the link for everyone. Let's see what time their earnings calls are. Let's start with Meta. I'm gonna get the link for everyone. I'll just go straight to the horse's mouth, with the data, with this link here. So straight from Meta's investor relations page. You see right here, right on the home screen, the home page on their investor relations page, right here. Boom, investor events. Q2 2025 earnings call. Of course, it's today, July 30th, 2 p.m. Pacific time, which is going to be 5 p.m. Eastern. Okay, so that's how you're going to get to the earnings web call and what time it's going down. I'll post the link on the bottom of my screen and leave it up there for a few minutes so everyone can screenshot it. I'm not personally going to stream it. It doesn't start for another 35 minutes, but at least I can save some people time and get them the link. And at 5 p.m. Eastern, that's going to go down, okay? And when you get to that link, just right there, Investor Events, you'll see the little link that says Webcast. Just click on that. They might have you fill out a little form. That's fine. And then they'll let you into the web call, and you can listen to that at 5 p.m. Eastern. Let me check and see when Microsoft earnings web call is, because I know a lot of investors got their eye on that one. Let's take a little look here. And let me just pull this over. All right. So if you want to see the earnings data yourself, you can go to this website. I'll post the link. But I'm going to scroll down a little bit right here. And let's take a look. Yep. Okay, so upcoming events, you see right here, July 30th, which is today, 2:30 p.m. Pacific time. So Microsoft earnings web call is at 5:30 p.m. Eastern. So 30 minutes after Meta does theirs, or starts theirs, if you will. So let me post this link to the Microsoft web call. All right, hopefully everyone had enough time to screenshot that Meta link on the bottom of my screen. That'll get you to the earnings web call. And again, it starts at 5 p.m. Eastern, about another 30 minutes for that, okay? And I'll put up the Microsoft link now. So there's the link that'll take you to the Microsoft earnings web call. That doesn't start for another hour, all right? So you got a little bit of time to burn before that one starts. But only 30 minutes left until Meta and about an hour left until Microsoft. Microsoft is at 5:30 p.m. Eastern. Same thing with that. As soon as you get to that link, just scroll down to upcoming events. You'll see the webcast hyperlink right there. You just click on that, and again, they might have you fill out a form. Nope, doesn't look like they. So you just kind of wait for it to start, and you'll be good to go. And you can hit play. I don't think it'll do anything because it's not going to. Well, okay, they just playing. So let me pause that. So you can go hang out there and listen to elevator music if you want, but it's not going to start until for another hour. All right, so let me get out of that and move this back over. So we got our reactions. Two monster reactions. They both caught a bid. Meta is up over 10% in after hours. That's over $70 a share, $71 a share. Microsoft is up over 7.5%, a little over $39 a share. So congratulations to the Meta bulls and the Microsoft bulls. Looks like you guys are going to be pretty happy. And let's just go over a few things. I want to go over a few of the trades that we did today in the Discord that some people made some money on. It's always good to celebrate the wins, right? So let me just pull this over. This is our Discord here, and just in the profit section. And oh, Latvian. I think Latvian's in the Discord room right now. He had an excellent day. Not putting you on blast there, Latvian, but I'm just celebrating you, brother. Congratulations. Give yourself a pat on the back. You kicked butt today. Brought in almost $1,250, $1,249. Well, right here, realized 1250.12. So congratulations on a very nice day today, my brother. Adrian had a nice win. Looks like he's giving a shout out to me and the other coach, Mad Maverick. We were trading puts going into the Powell press conference, or more specifically, I started trading them a little bit before 2 o'clock. I made a little bit of money. It looks like the members crushed it though. They made a lot more than I made, which is great. I'm happy for them, you know. Looks like Adrian, he's a lifetime member too. He had the 636 puts. He bought them at 2.43, and looks like he cashed out at 4.70, 93% gain. Real solid there. This was the other contract he had, the 635 put. He had an average of 2.14, just one contract, but cashed it out at 4.40, over 105% gain on that one. So these were the put trades we were doing earlier today. And my buddy Just the Tip, he over here crushed it today. This guy trades mainly blue chip stocks. Looks like this one was attributed to MRVL, he says. So yeah, pretty damn good day. $3,600 in a day. Pretty good. Def Gun being transparent. He lost a little bit, but you know, 1.8% definitely can recover from that. Give him a little emoji for being transparent there. Yeah, we're not trying to hide anything. I mean, there's losses that we take here and there, but overall, our winners outweigh any of the losses. Look at Latvian just crushing it. Congrats, bro. Babu Chris looks like he was what was he trading? He was trading puts as well. 5 lot size as well. So he looks like he made some decent money on that. Bought them around 47 and then started unloading them at 70 and 68, 5 contracts. So decent money there. Give you a little fire emoji on that one. Latvian crushing it. So yeah, no, just wanted to go over, some of the profits that we do every day, and we have a lot of fun, tons of education. I mainly do the little more advanced option trades. I do day trade and scalp, and I have mainly for fun, but we make good money with that. My bread and butter is writing contracts, so most of my trades, in the grand scheme of things, are sell to open. So someone might call me a theta trader or a premium trader, but yeah, I'm more on that side of the transaction. I really enjoy writing contracts. I've been doing it for years, and it's just my bread and butter. So I trade a lot of spreads. I do whip out some debit spreads every now and then. But yeah, if you're interested in a little more advanced options like multi-leg, right? Multi-leg on one trade ticket, that kind of thing. I'm your guy. I can teach you all about it, and I share all my trades with my coaching group, and we have a lot of fun. I target weekly and monthly income, if that kind of makes sense. And I do that by writing contracts. Then the other coach is Mad Maverick. It's his Discord name. His name's Lee. My name's Benjamin, by the way. Most people just call me Ben. But the other coach, Lee, Discord name Mad Maverick, he's your equity and stock guy. Okay, he swing trades stock. He trades options as well. He definitely dabbles in options and does very well at them. But his bread and butter is stock, right? He likes swing trading stock. He's been doing it for over a decade now, and that's his specialty. And he's been around for a while, and he makes good money. So if that's more your cup of tea, maybe you don't trade options, you just want to trade stock, right? You're going to want to go see Mad Maverick. But if you want options, come see me, the Swinging Bull, Discord name. But there's some links in the description. You can join us. You can just join the free section, see how you like it, and go from there. But yeah, if you're looking for a new home, definitely check us out. If you do join, just tag me in the chat. I'll come by and say hello. We can chat for a little bit. Maybe there's something I can help you out with right off the bat. But yeah, other than that, my name's the Swinging Bull with PB Alerts. I hope everyone has a fantastic night, and I'll see everyone in the very next stream. Cheers.